Okay, welcome back. It's Doug MPA. It is Sunday, October 27th, 2024. Thank you for joining me on this live stream. I really appreciate it. Make sure to like the videos, subscribe. I really appreciate it. It shows you support me and what I'm doing over here. And make sure to check out the live I did last night about this interaction with one of my favorite YouTube UK content creators, China. I thought it was a really good live stream. Make sure to check that out. Now, you guys see the thumbnail. We're going to talk about modern women quitting their jobs. I always say the journey of a man is you turn 16 and then you get a job and you work until you're dead. Now, hopefully, along the line, you get a highly valued skill, highly valued trade, highly valued education so you can put yourself in the best position to be able to support yourself and a wife and children if you so choose to have a family. And that's it. Women have so many privileges. They can Women are so privileged in society that they have all these multiple paths. Women can be housewives, they can be CEOs, they can work part-time, they can change careers, they can take time off the workforce multiple years, guys. We can't. If a man doesn't work, he starves, he's homeless. It's one of the biggest differences between men and women. And so this is probably going to be a multi live stream series. 'Cause I found a lot of TikToks and Instagram reels about women quitting their jobs. But today we're going to focus on STEM and some medical fields because I have some TikToks of women who are in STEM, engineers quitting their jobs, guys. And one last thing before I get into the crime files here. I honestly believe this, and tell me in the chat or in the comments after the fact if you believe this. There are women getting highly valued degrees, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, chemical engineering, law degrees, medical degrees, and they just leave the workforce. And they're taking up a spot from a man who would stay in the workforce and work that job for a lifetime. One of the reasons why we have a medical shortage is because we have so many female doctors who leave medicine, female engineers who leave engineering. And also, one last part of it, a woman will get an engineering degree, not be working in engineering, and still want the respect of being an engineer. No, guys, if you meet a woman who has a medical degree or a law degree, and she's in content creation or she's like an accounts receivable manager at some company, she doesn't get the same respect just because she has a degree. And us men know this. All right, so we're going to start with the crime files. The crime files are where I review stories of women who have been accused of, are being prosecuted for, or convicted of various crimes. So let's get into this. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that super chat button. All donations are appreciated, and the link to join the stream is at the top of the stream. So make sure to hit that link and come into the conversation. I'd appreciate it. Let me share my screen. Share. All right. So first one. Arizona woman is accused of stealing $74,000 from Target. $74,000.
Jesus H. Christ.
Oh my goodness. Let's get into this.
You. Well, new at 10, three Arizona women were arrested after police say they stole $74,000 worth of products from Target stores in Mesa and in Tucson. Today, Tucson police released surveillance video of one of the incidents. Police say that women would take empty containers to the skincare department and then load them into stolen items. They would then conceal the bins using clothing that was also stolen. Police caught up with the women in Tucson as they were in the middle of another theft. The suspects were identified as 27-year-old Dorinta Valuku, 21-year-old Francesca Trela, and a 16-year-old. They've all been charged with organized retail.
So, I'm not going to lie. When I saw this, I thought that it was going to be a bunch of B-dubs. But it's a bunch of Hispanic ladies. I'm telling you guys, modern women have more of, no, have as much, if more of an incentive to commit crime and violence because in 2024 because they are empowered to be like men, but they're still not held accountable. All right, so that's number one here, and then number two. Look at this, guys. Uber driver attack. Video shows man assaulting, biting, shows woman assaulting, biting rideshare driver for no reason. Let me let that play here because okay, so here is the actual clip here. Look at this.
Somebody call police.
Yeah, we call. Oh my God.
Baby, you gotta stop.
Baby, you gotta stop. He gonna beat your ass.
Stop.
Shit.
I'm not doing nothing for
So this guy is an Uber driver. Pick this woman up and look what she's doing. Look.
Oh my God.
I didn't call you. I wouldn't get involved, obviously.
I mean, that's his car, though.
You hear the woman? She's like, I wouldn't get involved. Let her tear your car up.
That's
That's his car.
Oh.
She tries to get in his car. Look, guys.
Get out my car.
Oh my God. I got.
Somebody catch her, man.
Yeah, I got.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
Don't hit her.
Don't hit her, dog. Don't hit her.
See, you hear the guys? Don't hit her, dog. Don't hit her, dog. Don't hit her. Man, he should have laid this woman out.
Just come on, baby. You gotta. He biting the shit out.
Oh my God.
He biting the shit out of him.
So he has to sit there and get bit because they're like, oh, don't hit her, dog. Don't hit her. Guys, don't put your hands on women. Don't do it. But there are scenarios where you have to defend yourself, and this is one of them. This woman's on drugs. She's busting up his car, swinging at him, biting him. Come on now. See if I can get to the actual news story here. Anyway, it says, the potential dangers faced by rideshare drivers are starkly illustrated in a video of an attack by a woman who climbed on one driver's hood and bit him for no apparent reason. The dramatic video shows a woman climbing on the hood of an Uber vehicle, breaking the windshield wiper, and then attacking the driver. At one point, she opens the door of the Prius and tries to get inside. Oh, here we go. Let's see the actual news story.
Been with the company for 5.5 years. He says he was simply dropping off a passenger when that woman came out of nowhere.
Oh, Ronnie, beat up stands for black women, but you can't say that those two words together too many times. Yeah, so just say B-dub.
Where tonight he says he's still in pain and still in shock.
Mitch. Veronica Miracle can get it, guys. Look at her. She's kind of fine.
Jesus H. Christ.
In shock.
Come on, baby. You gotta.
That is the scream of an Uber driver.
Oh my God.
Taking bite after bite on his side. Yasser Hadi was attacked in Atlanta while dropping off a passenger. He says a random, deranged woman on the street started jumping on his car. She's seen prying the windshield wipers off, and when Hadi tries to subdue her, she repeatedly bites him.
The pain is horrible pain. The dog not bite like this. She's still biting and pulling about 30 seconds.
On the phone, Hadi tells us now 1 week since the incident, he's still in pain. These are photos of the bite.
Look at that, man. Yikes. Hopefully he went to the hospital and got some freaking antibiotics or something. Yikes.
Along his rib cage. He hasn't seen a doctor.
I don't have insurance to go there, and it's going to be cost me a lot if I go there.
The woman in the video, 26-year-old Tashina Campbell, she's in custody for
Tashina Campbell, of course.
charges. Police say she also had 2 different warrants.
Look at that freaking broad, man. Holy crap. Look at that face. Look at that dead look in her eye. Yikes.
Warrants out from 2 different counties.
And she had 2 warrants out from 2 different counties.
Local Uber drivers stunned by the video say they've never seen anything like this.
If it happen that I have a passenger like that, what I would do is first I have to protect myself. You know, recording the video and call the police, let her do whatever she's doing on my car.
Now the Uber driver says he needs help fixing his car and his body, all because he was dropping off a customer in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Mark and Michelle, as you heard from Hadi himself, he says he does not have medical insurance. He still hasn't seen a doctor. So he's opened up a GoFundMe page and he's asking the public for help. You can find that link on our website.
He should have freaking dropped that chick.
This time is different.
All right, hold on. Yeah, he
For
should.
months, we've been reporting on a wave of.
He should have laid that girl out, man. Carlos X, good to see you. How you doing, my friend? Ronnie, good to have you in here. Anthony Williams, good to have you in here. Yeah, man. Once again, I don't advocate violence against women, but that had to be a case. Anyway, so here are a couple of examples of some of the TikToks you see of women who've just quit their jobs. Some women will film themselves quitting their jobs. Guys, don't ever do that. Don't do that. Because employers are having facial recognition and voice recognition. And they will see what you're saying about your freaking employer, or the fact that you recorded yourself quitting your job. It will affect you down the line. Do not do anything like this. So this girl just quit her 9-to-5 with no backup.
So I quit my job. I'm walking away from my stable 9-to-5 in corporate beauty to pursue nothing. The place I worked at started off kind of dreamy, but there were red flags, and I foolishly ignored the red flags for about 1.5 years until I couldn't anymore.
And a job in corporate beauty, of course, guys.
And it became so toxic that I absolutely hated every single day that I was there. So about 2 weeks ago, I put in my resignation. I gave a 2-week notice and just been wrapping up final projects. Side note, I'm never doing that again. I'm going to quit on the spot next time because the way people turn on you, it's crazy. But I did get a nice farewell. Yeah, I have nothing lined up. I plan on taking a break for the next few months and really think about what I want to do next instead of jumping into the next thing. I'm scared, but I'm excited because I feel like I've entered a very different chapter in my life where I just want to live. I want to go out of my comfort zone and just live life. I want to travel. I want to have new experiences. I don't want to be career focused anymore. Like whatever happens, happens. I tried my best. I learned that being a corporate girly is not for me. So yeah, let's see what happens next.
Only women can talk like this, guys. Only women can talk like this. What's she gonna do? What's she gonna do? I'm gonna take a couple of months off. I'm gonna ask you guys a question in the chat. Well, let me frame it real fast. When you think of the word loser, what do you imagine? You imagine a man who hasn't achieved, maybe living in his mom's basement, playing video games all day, not motivated, probably quits every job that he has, right? What is the female equivalent for the word loser? What do we call women like this? Anyone? 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 Exactly. And there are a lot of women out here like this. Student loan debt, degrees that nobody cares about, and they just go from job to job to job. Spend all their 20s going from job to job to job. These are the same women talking about how things aren't fair. The rich need to pay their fair share. All this craziness. When they bounce from job to job to job with no plan. Full screen. Anthony Williams, good to see you, my friend. This is another girl that just quit her job.
I wanted to talk about this job that I have that I've only had for about 5 months now. It's work from home. It's my very first work from home job. And I was really excited for it. And so the first 3 months were training.
So she's been at a job for 5 months and she works from home. What could she have possibly gone through to have her quit her job? Angel, good to see you, my friend. How's it going?
Yes, good evening, Doug. How are you doing? Hi, everybody.
I'm good, man. I'm talking about women that keep quitting their jobs. A lot of these modern women, they they uh, they go into well, this was going to be about. I found some engineers and medical professionals that are women who just walk away from their jobs. So these women, I have a couple that are mechanical engineers, electrical engineers. I'm not going to be in engineering anymore. I have a physical therapist. She walked away because of her burnout, and this woman's a medical doctor. And it's like these women, they they put themselves in all this debt, go into these fields where it just quit. If they were men, they would stick it out. And why? Because men, our goal is to make money to be able to provide for ourselves and the family. Happiness, passion has nothing to do with it. What do you think?
Well, that's what it is, though. They go by the feelings that they can. Oh yes, I feel like I'm gonna be doing this, and I'm gonna go and get a degree, and I am woman, and I'm strong, and I could do this. And then when they get into it, though, like you said, they get into it for 6 months, and I don't feel like doing it anymore. I think this degree is not gonna work for me. I don't feel like it's always with their feelings, and
Yep.
that's their problem. And they grow up from little girls, grow up to be adults, and they stuck with their feelings, and they feel like they can't do this no more. And I don't feel like, and I think I caught a little bit of this one though, saying that she's at home, she's working at home.
Yep.
Why
Yep.
in the world
Working home.
would you quit something in which you're at home? You're at home. You're good. You don't have to travel anywhere. Now all of a sudden you're gonna quit. This is why, and then on top of this, then these women want to talk about, oh, men are earning more than women because you quit.
Yep.
Why
Yep.
do you quit? You
I,
spend all, like you said, you spend all that money on a degree, all this just to get a job, and then all of a sudden, a few months later, I quit. I don't feel like it. You feel that's the problem.
yeah.
Always gotta be based on feelings though, and not being logical. Like you said, men stick it out. Working an oil rig, they stick it out. Working the mines, they stick it out. Because
Yep.
we're providers and protectors. That's the way it is. Women, they don't have to be providers and protectors. So now they got the option. Oh, I don't feel like them. Okay, well then I don't see. This is oh gosh, I don't know. This
Yeah.
is why I get so frustrated. You know.
It freaking pisses me off, man. Especially like I said earlier, they get a highly valued degree or highly valued skill, a mechanical engineer, electrical engineer.
Yes, those are good.
They
Those are
just walk
good.
away. They just walk away. Really? Albert C., good to see you, my friend. This is why they're voting for cackling Kamala. More free handouts and easier jobs, 100%.
Oh man, forget it.
Because I've worked from home since 2010. Haven't been lonely once working. Guys, I work from home at my day job, and before the cough, guys, I had to ride the DC Metro for 4 years to go to work.
Oh wow.
Hellscape, guys. I'm telling
Wow.
you, it was awful. So let's get back to this woman here.
But it has been extraordinarily stressful, especially when it feels like you're a glorified call center. But basically, this has been the worst time. I have so much anxiety right before I get on the phone. I've had people call me liars. Some people are saints. They can do a call job with no problem, and they can handle those people that are nasty. I cannot. I am sensitive. I cannot handle that. I can handle people being rude to me in person, but when you're stuck on a phone call with someone with nobody else around you, I cannot tell you how lonely it is and how awful it is.
Oh, poor baby. Guys, I never went into the workplace expecting to be happy or find a job that is my passion. Okay. I'm me first and my job second. So my professional goals were always to find a job that it was mutually beneficial. I was getting as much out of the organization as they were getting out of me. I want respect at work, and I want the time off and the finances to live the personal life I want to live, hopefully with the person I find to live it with. And that's it. No more, no less. No more, no less. So I've had jobs, not exactly call center jobs, but like customer service jobs. And when your identity isn't your job, or you're not under any kind of illusion that you're gonna make that you're gonna go to the moon or be some movie star with your name and lights and stuff, it is easy to disconnect yourself from your job. If I had a call center job right now, I wouldn't care. They don't know me.
Exactly.
I'm getting paid. That's it.
That's it. That's it.
Wouldn't want to feel passionate, and I have to have a job that matters, and I need to look. Most people are just regular people working a job, and the sooner you accept that, the better off in life you will be. Oh, I'm so sad. They're yelling at me. Oh.
It feels like you're the only person in this world, and inside your own home? No. The job does pay very well. I do get kind of government-like benefits, so my headphones just made a noise. That kind of freaked me out. But if you have any questions about, why it's only been 5 months and I'm already ready to get the hell out and not do this anymore. So I'm just going to take you along. I'm not quitting yet. I am quitting next week with my one-on-one. I'm going to let my manager know. She's been very sweet, very trying to be helpful, but it's not working for me. So, but I'm also going to a wedding, so I thought I'd show the beautiful wedding. So, just come along with me while I try to survive as the most sensitive person I feel like in the entire world, because I'm literally about to start crying right now because I'm talking about all this. So I hope I have a good day, and I hope you have a good day and you can survive this. Peace.
I guess if I could survive her, I could survive anything. Sheesh.
And here's the thing. I've said this multiple times. There's so many stops to failure with stuff like this. You got to hit the record button and the upload button. When modern women put out stuff like this, I'm sensitive. I hate my job. Like you got to think about this before you post stuff online. The ramifications, the impact. So before you hit the record button, you should think about the impact. Before you hit the upload button, all future employers are going to see this.
Yep, that's right.
Oh my goodness, you guys.
That's right. They don't get it. And they're doing it, though. They're really checking this out, though. They're really going on there to see what you're going to say, to see what kind of comments you have, what you're going to do. And all. They're really checking it. I've noticed that. Noticed that. And they don't realize that.
This woman's an engineer, and she's quitting. And the 3 reasons why I'm so over being an engineer. Guys, in the chat, try and guess the 3 reasons. Angel, try and guess any of the 3 reasons.
3 reasons? You're going to quit being an engineer? Sheesh.
Try and guess.
A
Gen Z woman would say. Try and guess.
I'll be honest with you. I really don't know. Not off the top of my head, I don't know.
The misogyny. Come on.
But what misogyny? She's got an engineer degree. She got an engineer job. She's doing better than some guys.
Yeah.
How can it be misogyny? I don't get that.
You'll see. Let's get into this. Oh yeah. The misogyny, and then it's not her passion. She wants to be a creative. It's all here, guys. Watch.
Oh dear.
3 reasons why I'm so over being an engineer. So a bit of background. I graduated with a degree in mechanical engineering and have been
a degree in mechanical engineering.
Jesus H. Christ.
And she's not going to be a mechanical engineer.
working as a mechanical engineer for 4 years, but not gonna lie, I don't love it, and seeing myself have to put up with everything I have for the rest of my working career doesn't really inspire me. So, number one, I'm so fed up with the system that seems designed to help men, but limits my own advancement. And
told you guys.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Told you. Because it's always men's fault. Always. Guys, let me tell you about engineering. Story time. I knew a couple that I used to show up to trivia with. They were older. They had a daughter who went to a major university for mechanical engineering. Right now, guys, We all knew guys in high school. We're like, dude, he's gonna be an engineer. He's all socially awkward, kind of weird, But it takes that kind of mindset to get a degree in mathematics or a degree in engineering. Okay, it comes at a cost of social skills a lot of the time. But the biggest difference between men and women is men aren't penalized as bad for being an engineer and having that mindset as women are. Women engineer this couple, their granddaughter was a mechanical engineer, and she acted like an engineer. She was really quiet, socially awkward. She sit there, wouldn't say a word. You're like, what's going on with this chick, right? Women have to pay the price severely for having that engineering mindset, and it's mostly against women, because women, if you're a woman engineer or like the mathematics type, and you don't adhere to the social rules and the social aspects set forth by other women pay a severe price. I feel so bad for these engineering inclined women, man. It's a tough life for them. And honestly, a lot of them don't exhibit a lot of traits that a lot of successful men want either. Anyway.
And I've recently heard about this topic called non-promotable tasks and how women oftentimes get assigned these tasks. And then I look at what's on my plate and I'm like, yeah, not only do I have to do my own projects, but I also have these ridiculous tasks like formatting slides, and that task just falls on me.
Maybe it's because you're new. You're probably the youngest person at the firm. Ever thought about that? And here's the thing, guys. Women will highlight the extra tasks that they're given at work, but guys, we never do. For every woman that says, "Oh, I was assigned slides or I have to schedule events," what about the guys who have to lift all the heavy stuff up?
Yep.
If you're a man in the office, guys, put some of the extra duties as a man that you have to do in the office that you don't get credit for. Lifting heavy objects. Freaking, sometimes you have to walk women out to their cars late at night if it's dark outside. All that type of stuff. But men don't complain, but women will. And here's the thing. Women, if you're assigned extra tasks at work, say no. Say no. Come on now.
Number two, I really don't feel like I belong. I've been on interview debriefs where the other men in the room say that they're looking for a candidate to show interest in working on cars or love to go hunting. And I respect people's hobbies outside of work, but those aren't mine. Those will never be mine. And if that's a box to check on the interview, I'm severely at a disadvantage. And
that's all cap, guys. Come on now. You think that she went through a job interview? Any kind of job interview for like a promotion or anything, and they said, "So, do you like cars? Do you like football?" She's capping, guys. Come on now. Come on. No way.
And I will always be an outsider. And number three, I'm looking for creative fulfillment. And that for me is building my own thing. And that's why I started building my own activewear brand. And I'm manifesting that as my full-time job. And
there it is, guys. There it is. She's gonna manifest her activewear brand. She's gonna be a mechanical engineer who's gonna try to hawk women's workout clothes. Most of
another
these women,
disastrous career for her.
Yeah, yep.
That's what it is. It's just another disastrous career.
And here's the thing, guys. What takes more work? Working at an engineering firm or starting your own business?
Oh, starting your own business, obviously.
100%. 100%. There's so women are diving headlong into this whole entrepreneurship thing, but they don't realize how tough of a life it is. See, men, we do, because most businesses that exist have been started by men. And women try to choose the most volatile areas to start businesses in. Clothing, a travel business, a hair business, all this stuff that has where the market is already saturated and you're most likely to fail.
Well, they don't realize what it takes to, even start up a business as it is, though, because You know, it's not a matter of you trying to start. It's just you gotta put the time. You gotta put your energy. You basically gotta put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. You know, as they say though, to make that business grow. It's not gonna be like, oh hey, well, I'm just gonna sell this to Doug and to Albert and to Carlos X, and they're gonna buy it automatically. It doesn't work that way. You got to see what the market is looking for, though. You gotta see what type of brand you're selling, though, and then you got to try to make it work, though. Then you got to try to adjust to, then you may have competition. It's a lot of stuff. I don't think they realize that. I don't think they realize what it takes to even start up in that, though. That's why it's a workout. It really is a workout, though. She should be staying in engineering, though. She already spent the years anyway on the money. She'd be better off doing that than just starting something from the ground up, because that's going to take a lot of time, and they might even fail in the first year.
Yep.
So you don't know.
And it doesn't take it takes like 3 to 5 years for a business to truly become profitable.
Yeah, at least that. At least a minimum. At least.
Yep. Yep, it's true.
I mean, I maybe that's what it is, though. Maybe they're oblivious to that, though. I don't know, but I don't know.
It's crazy.
That's up to them.
But my brain constantly goes back and forth because I worked so hard for my degree, and as a minority in the profession, we need more women. But at what point do I move on for the protection of my own well-being?
That's what it comes down to, you guys. A lot of these women are getting these degrees to prove some point, and men weep. If society got to this point because men have sacrificed our mental, emotional, and physical health for God, country, family, community. Women will take up some cause and then quit when it gets too rough. She got this degree. I'm gonna be a woman in STEM. I'm gonna female engineer. Yeah, until it gets too hard, then she's gonna quit. And odds are she has about $50,000 or $60,000 worth of student loans. I guarantee it.
A quick question, Doug. How long do you think she's been an engineer?
She said 4 years.
4 years? Yeah, she could have made a career out of it, though, man. 4 years?
Yep.
I don't know.
So let's get into the first article here. I found this on this woman's Substack, and we're going to go through part of it. But you can see, she says, why midlife women walk out of corporate jobs. And you're going to ask yourself, who hurt this woman, man? Straight up. So it says, hi, everyone. For women, age is always an issue at work. Too young, they can't be taken seriously. In their 30s, they'll be discriminated against because they can get pregnant. Those who have children suffer the motherhood penalty. In their mid-40s, they'll already be deemed too old. Eventually, the few of them who remain in the corporate world beyond menopause will be in the minority because the toxic mix of ageism and sexism will have discouraged many of those who hadn't already left because they couldn't juggle caregiving and working full time. She just starting off with a bang. It's surprising how little interest the discrimination suffered by women over 50, even 45, generates in the corporate world. It's hardly even measured. Yet all of the types of discrimination out there, of all the types of discrimination out there, ageism is felt more painfully by the people concerned. It is high time diversity and inclusion programs took better care of aging women. Says that there are at least two fundamental reasons why women over 50 should be better nurtured and put at the heart of diversity and inclusion programs. First, there are so many of them. They really represent the most untapped and promising pool of workers to recruit from in the future. Second, every young woman is an older woman in the making if she survives. So minding the intersection between age and gender will help every woman feel more secure. Now, guys, if you see the statistics, women CEOs quit by the time that they're 44, and male CEOs stay in their position on the average 3 to 4 years more than women do. For every male CEO, for every male C-suite employee that quits, 2 female C-suite employees quit. Women in STEM, 50% of them will leave STEM by the time they're in their early 40s. So why, as a company, would you invest in women climbing up the ladder when they're gonna leave? Why?
Yeah.
And they have all these excuses. I want to find an organization that better fits my values and wants to save the environment. You know, I'm taking time off for my mental health or to focus on my family. Women have all these excuses, all these ways out, and men don't. If a man quits a C-suite position, they're gonna say, "Bro, like, what'd you quit for? Are you lazy?" Telling you guys, if I were a corporation, I'd be. Or it's like another thing. A lot of law firms are putting a lot of medical firms and law firms are putting IVF into women's medical plans, medical insurance, to try to stave off when women have children, because a lot of women will bust their butts to get to the main level or the top level, or in law to be a partner, and then they'll have a couple of kids, and all of a sudden they're not working all the hours that they used to work. Right? It says so many women over 50 disappear from the corporate world, even though they have so much to give. What an immeasurable waste for the economy. To be fair, it's not entirely wasted because many of them channel their energy and ambition into their own companies. In short, if I had to put it in one sentence, I'd say that women in their 50s and 60s are not just the fastest growing demographic group, they are quite literally the future of work. And that's cap, guys. Only 20% of people are freaking entrepreneurs and business owners. Only 20%. 80% of people work regular jobs. So most of these women who quit, they're going to try to become entrepreneurs, but they're going to fail and end up having to go back to 9 to 5. Garrett Grant, good to see you, my friend. This is most CEOs are middle-aged and older. Also, most are men. The older you get, the fewer women there are in corporations. Indeed, women are relatively more numerous at the bottom of the pyramid. As one ascends, they disappear. Not only is their talent not fully appreciated, but as they age within the company, they may be perceived as potential rivals. When they're not promoted, many of them leave the company in frustration. Garrett Grant gifted 5 memberships. So thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate it. So there's several reasons why women disappear from the company. First, the organization demands sacrifices from them that their caregiver role towards their parents or in-laws, for example, does not allow them to maintain in the middle of their lives. Secondly, the discrimination that combines sexism and ageism is particularly toxic for them. Those who survive, sometimes have successful careers, but they often find themselves quite alone up there. So what? So what? Who cares? Yet women over 50 have so much talent and energy to spare. Today, this talent and energy remain largely untapped by companies, which represents a waste of monumental proportions. If it were just a loss for corporations, we could probably live with it, but it also comes with the loss of female poverty and old age. Years spent working part-time, parental leaves, career gaps, and lost promotions translate to precariousness and old age. The gender pay gap. You guys knew that was coming. Come on now. Whereby women are paid less than men for similar work is widely acknowledged, but too little attention is given to the gender pension gap. The fact that women receive significantly lower pensions than men when they retire, and they retire later. Women face challenges both when it comes to private pensions, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna skip it. I might have to do a whole separate live stream on this, because I didn't think that this was this long and this interesting. But anyway, I'm gonna move on to the next TikTok, because this is kind of long, and this is actually interesting enough to have a whole conversation about. So let me bookmark this for a future live stream. What do you guys think about everything she's saying about why women quit in ageism and sexism? Guys,
I think this is probably a lame excuse for them to even quit as it is anyway, with all this bullcrap about ageism and sexism and all that. They can't be either one of them though, because if you're up in a position, a very high position, how can it be ageism or any kind of, let alone sexism though? I don't get that.
And they're not saying anything about the fact that men have to go through. No, men face the same obstacles, but choose this. I'm sorry. Men have to go through all this too. We spend less time with our family. A lot of times, our job becomes our identity. We're working 100 hours a week. We have to make sacrifices in life. We miss out on time with our kids. Have to travel a lot. You know, our mental and physical health is affected. But we don't complain. We know this. It's like women fought for this quote unquote fought for this opportunity, and now they're mad about what comes along with it. This is what middle and upper management and companies. This is what comes along with the territory. If you don't like it, don't try to play the game.
That's it. That's it.
This is what you fought for. You fought for the opportunity. You can get hired, but you have to you have to deal with what comes along with it to be able to stay there. Everything she's talking about, men have difficulties too. It isn't less difficult for a man to climb the ladder. All right. So this is another engineer who
Oh dear.
quit her job.
I quit my job. So I just walked away from my 6-figure and 6-year-long engineering career to be a full-time artist and content creator. This is not.
Of course, guys. Of course, she is. A lot of women think that content creation, social media is going to be their way out of a 9-to-5 job. How many different videos have I covered and compilations where women are like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing full-time content creation now." Too many to count. Emoji, Mr. Good to see you, my friend.
It's not some like dream whimsical.
Oh, go ahead, Angel.
No, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say quickly that it winds up being like OF. You know, it gets to be saturated though, and then what? I mean, there's nothing original about it though. For the most part, it's almost the same thing. Whatever content they have, as it is anyway, producing.
Yep. And even if you become a content creator, what is the likelihood that you're going to make as much money as you did at your day job?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's
Exactly.
very, very small. Let me make emoji Mr. here
You know what I think though? I think what it is that, women like, especially now in this day of age, they will want to go into social media and think, okay, well, I have this content though. It's going to be much better than the other ones. And no. Whatever it is though, it's going to be like a recycled version of what was done earlier. And
exactly,
it's not going to be anything, no originality of any kind whatsoever. So it's, they figure it'd probably be easier that way because, 304s are always looking the easy way of doing things, as it is anyway, though. But so this is just another example of it, though. But whatever.
And also, guys, be careful if you ever meet a woman who's a content creator, because a lot of these 304s, their whole life becomes content, and you will become content, guys. Don't do it. Watch out.
Yeah.
Cool story of I replaced my income with my art income, and now I'm just like sitting on the beach all day shipping out thousands of orders. Like, it is not that story. It is my just genuine, authentic story of starting my life over at 29 years old, leaving behind the career that I worked my entire life towards, specifically the last 10 years of my life. So I spent 4 years getting my degree in civil engineering. And
civil engineering, guys. Now she's walking away to be a singer and be a content creator.
Then spent 6 years working in that industry, and then just taking a complete leap of faith, jump into an industry, art being something that is just known for being a risky thing to go all in on.
But that actually looks kind of cool, though. I got to give her credit.
Well, she got artistic skills. She does.
Yeah, she's talented. Once again. Is she going to make as much money on the regular as she did as a civil engineer? I don't know.
Hard to be profitable, hard to make a living off of
just complete 180 pivot.
So she's a civil engineer, not using her degree.
She could have done that artist thing as a side hustle, though, man.
Exactly.
She could have done it that way. It would have been better, though, man. I mean, if that's a
Guys.
hobby, I mean, you could always use a hobby as a side hustle, though. So that'll help you. You know, that'll be anyway. Yeah.
Yep. And there are civil engineering guys jobs where you can work from home. Tell you guys, if you, that's why I always recommend work for city, state, or federal government, guys. Because it's all about that work-life balance, man. Working for the government, you get that work-life balance. All right, so let's see what this is another woman in STEM who quit her job.
Good question. So there's a lot of reasons, but I'm going to break down the biggest 3 reasons why I quit my government tech job. Reason number 1, overworked, underpaid. A lot of people on TikTok like to make this broad statement that once you break into STEM, especially engineering and technology, you'll have a lot of money and everything will be great. But if you're like me and you go into the government, your first offer, when you first start working there, your salary, it's going to be great. It's going to be like nothing you ever seen. However, I worked with my company in my position for almost 3 years and I never received a promotion. So keep that in mind.
Okay, so why'd she stay there for 3 years? Guys, if you work a year or 2 at a job and they don't increase your pay or you don't have opportunities, leave. And that should be a continual conversation that you have with your boss is advancement. And if they don't want to have that conversation with you, you find a place that'll have that conveation. And also, don't be in a position where they're promising you a promotion or promising you a raise. If a year goes by and they say, "Oh well, you know, Angel, Anthony Williams, not this year, but next year, if you just cool your jets," no, heck no, no way. This is her fault for staying in a job where she didn't get a promotion or a paid raise in 3 years. So that's her fault. Come on now.
Number 2, excuses. Again, this is something that I've noticed more in those of us that have worked in the government. But when you do finally bring up the fact that you feel like you need to be promoted or you deserve a raise, you get a lot of excuses. You get a lot of, well, you didn't do this one thing, or remember that one time you did this. And even if you've put in the hard blood, sweat, and tears.
Carlos X says, did she ask for a promotion? Come on.
No. Most part they don't ask for that.
Come on, guys. You already know the answer to that.
For, like me, almost 3 years, it just seems like they wait until you bring it up to bring up your areas of improvement instead of just saying, we don't have money in the budget to give you a raise, which is also totally fine. And number 3, lack of empathy. I had my job with my previous company throughout the pandemic. So that means I saw pre-COVID attitude during work from home behaviors and then post-COVID behaviors. And I will say that when I first started working for my company in 2019, the management was very understanding. It didn't feel like, you had somebody breathing down your neck. It didn't feel like you had to make a bunch of excuses for things that were going on in your personal life. And then during the work from home era, during the pandemic, that really just took off and people were super understanding of work-life balance, super understanding of what was going on in people's lives. And, there was so much empathy there. But then we went back into the office and everything changed. My father actually passed away in November of 2021. And I was told, so sorry that happened to you, but make sure you check the bereavement policy to see how many days you get off. I don't think that it meant to come across that way, but that's how it did come across. And I didn't really appreciate that. So I had to go.
So I don't expect empathy for my work. I expect respect. And here's the thing, guys. Take example what happened to her. If they're giving her crap about her father dying, she say, okay, and then you find something else.
Exactly.
You don't make a big stink. You don't go on TikTok and complain about it. You find something else. Because sometimes An organization or a person will tell you something will come up that'll tell you everything that you need to know. But stop expecting companies to understand. Stop expecting people to understand. I don't. Unless I have a personal relationship with you, I don't expect understanding. I just don't. And here's the thing: us men, a lot of times, we can expect understanding all the time. No, a lot of the time, as men, we can expect understanding, but we're not going to get it. Why? Because we're men. Men don't get understanding, and we don't get the benefit of the doubt. Tell me I'm lying. I forgot what this woman was about.
I actually quit my job for a better one. I'm still doing environmental engineering and I'm still doing consulting. This
Environmental engineering.
Jesus H. Christ.
Women with these degrees.
is my third job in 2 years. I got a 25% pay increase for essentially the same position. I get to work from home full time except for when I'm in the field, and that was really important to me.
So I wanted to put this in here because this is exactly what you should be doing. You see how she's had two or three jobs? No, a couple of years and a couple of jobs in 2-3 years. Now she has a job in her field, making more pay and working from home. The exact opposite of what this the last girl did. Guys, we are in an upwardly mobile society. Don't be afraid to move. Don't be afraid to look for different jobs. And I'll just say it right now. He who makes the most amount of work for he who makes the most amount of money for the least amount of work wins.
That's right. That's right.
If you can find a job where you do a whole bunch of, where you make a whole bunch of money, you don't do a lot, more power to you.
Good. That's right.
This is another woman who left her STEM job. And once again, STEM has a recruitment problem. Only 23% of STEM students are women, right? And over 50% leave by the time they're 40. So they have a recruitment problem and a retention problem.
I recently left my job as a cancer research assistant, and here's why. The reason I left specifically in the time that I did is because my contract ended, and sadly, we just did not have enough funding to keep me on, which ironically
This has music, so I'm going to have to pause it every 10 seconds.
is one of the reasons why I didn't want to stay in the first place. And look, even though I knew I wanted to go back to creative fields and leave research eventually,
See that? She wants to go back to creative fields and leave STEM. They all do, guys. They all want to go back and be a creative.
leaving this soon did throw me off guard a little bit. Another thing that people may not realize is that there's a lot of shady business going on in this industry.
You see, Emoji Mister says, "We love you, Angel. Man, make America normal again." In fact, how is the campaign trail? How's it going out there?
Well, citizens, even though Kathleen Kamala and the Orange Man refuses to debate me, but you know what? Just for you, citizens, even you, Emoji MR, even everybody, I'm still gonna go out there and I'm still gonna campaign in these last few days. And with your support and with your backing, I can make America normal again. Manna, yes, thank you.
There you go, you guys. Love it.
By some pretty well-renowned researchers. And while I understand that happens in every industry, in every field, in something like cancer research, you kind of expect people to have a bit more integrity. And obviously this is not a generalization. From what I saw, the people I personally worked with were very honest about their work and their behavior. But I'm just saying it made me question a lot of things, even about my own work. You also can't really progress professionally as an RA unless you do a PhD. But I also don't see myself with a career that requires a PhD. So that currently isn't an option for me.
At least she wants to avoid getting a PhD because she's probably looking at how much debt her bachelor's degree and master's degree cost her, and it's like, I don't want to put myself another $80,000 in debt for a PhD.
Wouldn't do it unless I knew I wanted to do it and I loved it. So why did I stay on as an RA for so long? Because I genuinely enjoyed it. It just wasn't a long-term thing for me, and that's okay.
I said it multiple times. Women can do this, guys. They could jump careers, quit their jobs, take time off. Men, we can't do that. We can't. No sympathy, no nothing. If a guy doesn't work, he doesn't eat. If a guy doesn't work, he's on the street. privilege is invisible to those who have it. Even women in the workplace and in the workforce. This is another engineer who quit her job.
Who in their right mind would spend their entire life studying being an engineer just to leave and make videos on the internet? That would be
Modern women, that's who.
me, but here's why. I was miserable as an engineer. I used to call the lab the dungeon because that's where they locked away princesses, and also one of the labs I worked in didn't have any windows. I was very depressed, and on top of that, the people I worked for were the inventors of toxic work environments, and their main weapon of destruction was gaslighting sprinkled with a little bit of racism. Yes, I have receipts. Now, I did consider myself the personality hire. However, I was pretty good at the job, and the paper I submitted right before
Wait. What did she say? A what hire?
Consider myself the personality hire.
A personality hire? So they hired her on her personality?
However, I was pretty good at the job, and the paper I submitted right before I left did just win an award, so I wasn't bad at it. And people always ask, well, how could you leave a salary like that? I was a graduate student when I left, meaning I was not making a lot of money. And my program didn't offer health insurance, so I was already paying out of pocket for that. It wasn't like I was leaving this cushy salary with benefits and perks. No, I was in the trenches. The one thing I do miss about being an engineer was having coworkers, because we used to kiki and talk shit all day long. I'm not trying to convince anyone to leave their job. I know it's a very difficult decision, and I didn't take it lightly. I actually interviewed at a bunch of different positions, including McKinsey and BCG, because I too didn't think I was going to be a content creator. I'm also not trying to glamorize being a creator, because it does come with its own unique challenges, but I know I'm a smart girl, and if there's one thing I would do is figure it out. I'd rather.
There it is, guys. Women are going to leave their cushy 9-to-5s, regular salary, to try to figure it out. There it is. And they're going to. This is why I hate that whole, like, women are literally pushing the socialist agenda to try to. Men pay most of the taxes. We pay for dating. In a marriage, our money is the house money, and then if the woman works, she gets to keep her money. And women want more, guys. They want more. Women want
They want the world. That's what, and more.
They want a secretary to make as much as a freaking a software engineer. They want a teacher to make as much money as a freaking a colonel in the military. No, that's where this push is going. Women want low stress jobs where you don't do a lot, to make as much money as the jobs that men traditionally hold, that are high pressure, requires a skill, a trade, highly valued education. That is the ultimate plan. Teachers,
okay, but Doug,
secretaries, hairstylists, all to make as much money as a CEO. That's what they want. Huh?
But Doug, how much stress do you need, though, to be an engineer?
I don't know. I think that a lot of engineers have. I don't think it's stressful for men, because who are built for that kind of work. Because engineering is a lot of. I have friends who are engineers, monotonous, long hours. But women want this fiery passion where I have to feel like I'm making a difference. I have to feel passionate. I have to have this fire ignited in my soul with my job. No, that's not engineering. Computer programming, engineering, computer science, all that stuff. It is just monotonous work, guys. It's like, you guys remember a couple years ago that pushed into coding? Learn to code. Learn to code. Have you ever met a coder before? The work sucks, guys. It sucks. All you do is sit there and code. Listen to music with your headphones in and code all day. It's brutal.
Bet on myself and take the chance now, as opposed to waiting until the end of my life and regretting not ever trying. Plus, my PhD arrived in the mail just a few weeks ago, so if worse came to worse, I could go back and get a job. Now, I can't tell the future, but I can tell you for sure that I would not be working in a lab or a dungeon ever again. And I will also be extremely, extremely more picky about who I decide to work for if I were to in the future. And the career, the work environment, all the BS was not for me, but some people really do like working for other people, and there's no shame in that. But like I said, it wasn't for me, so I'm gonna keep making these videos on the internet.
Content creation is the way out, guys. So let me see if I can find I
What y'all little nigga?
I want to try to find her on because now she's this is her Instagram. So she's a travel creator now. And there's her with her PhD that she doesn't use. I wonder what she got it in. Instead of focusing on a PhD, I decided to take these photos to celebrate my life. To all that having a PhD is important, people save it for someone who actually cares. So she's a PhD in biomedical engineering, and she's a travel blogger. There you go, guys. There you go. And if she were a man, she would have stayed in the field, got a job at some firm, making a bunch of money, and stayed there for 20, 30 years and raised a family on it.
Exactly.
Yep. Now this girl, another engineer that left to start her own business. Guys, it just keeps coming.
It is time to talk about how I left my engineering career to start my own business. Good morning, motherfuckers. It is time to talk about how I left my engineering career to start my own business because the pipeline from engineering to entrepreneurship is so strong. And so many people were asking me, how did you do it? What are you doing now? How can I start my own business? And I want to tell you everything that I did because a lot of people in engineering just don't really talk about how to leave it. And they'll just magically poof, be gone from the company. And they were secretly building a business the whole time. That's exactly what I did. So let me dive into all the little things that I wish I knew and all the things I went through and kind of achieved to get to the point of working for myself full time. Before we dive into the story, I want to remind you that you might feel a little bit of guilt. You might feel a little bit of anxiety over the fact that you spent at least 4 hard years getting a degree that is supposed to be the end goal, supposed to be the thing you're supposed to do for the rest of your life.
And it's the thing that you're going to spend $60,000, $70,000 paying for. These degrees aren't cheap. And this is why 70% of women, 70% of the student loan debt is women, guys. Women will go in. She's probably another one of those where she's like, oh, I'm going to be an engineer and fight the patriarchy. Then she realized, you know what? I'm pretty. I don't have to be an engineer for the rest of my life. I can capitalize on my looks. And I guarantee you, let me see if I can, what is her business? You know, Anthony Williams always already said OF. But let me see if I can, Jasmine. Is this her? Yeah, this is her right here. So, founder of, well, I mean, she's married. I got to give her credit for that. So let's see what her. So she's a business coach. You guys. Of course she is. Grow your personal brand with powerful organic content marketing and inbound sales.
Hey, Doug. Jesus H. Christ.
I know, right?
Jesus H. Christ.
Exactly.
You guys,
Exactly.
come on now. Come on. We're not going to watch the whole thing because I think she's trying to sell her business. But let's see about this whole guilt from quitting.
And you're feeling like you might not want to actually do that, but you spent so much time, money, energy crying in the library at midnight, and you're like, should I leave all of it? Like, this is supposed to be the dream. Spoiler alert, that feeling doesn't go away. I was in my career for a few years, and I can say with full confidence that the feeling of wanting to leave only got stronger. So first and foremost, the hardest part about starting a business is really getting to the point where you know exactly what you want to do, because you're not going to know what you want to do at first. You're going to try a million things. I tried to do things in fitness. I tried to do things in like fashion. I tried all these different.
All stuff that the market's saturated with. I tried to do fitness. I tried to do fashion. Remember that one girl quit engineering to start her own active clothing line? Yeah, she did too. And look where she is now.
Things, and I failed and fell on my face over and over again, and I just have to keep getting up and trying again. And the hardest part is putting yourself out there and trying something and then pivoting and doing it over and over. And so throughout that process, I will say that the biggest takeaway is don't talk about your business to people in your life until you have it figured out. So like,
Okay, that is good advice, because if you talk too much, guys, there are way too many haters out there, man. Way too many haters. And she's a woman. Women can't stand each other, especially when they're trying to succeed. So I guarantee you, she made the mistake of talking to too many of her female friends, and her female friends were trashing her whenever she was trying something. So I got to give her, credit for that. That is good advice.
for years, I didn't really talk. I honestly still hardly do, but I didn't really talk about my business ideas and what I was trying and my endeavors. Even if I was trying something for a year, I hardly talked about it because I knew I was vulnerable to other people's judgments and opinions. And I really wanted to protect my energy, not be influenced by them, because you're just in such a weird state when you're trying something and putting yourself out there. You don't want them to get to your head.
And also, in your 20s, you are still highly susceptible to the influence of your friends and family when it comes to your life decisions. Usually right about 30 is when you stop giving an F. 40, you really don't care. Like, no one can tell you nothing when you're 40, but like in your 20s, you're still malleable and kind of susceptible. So be careful, guys.
The next thing is invest in yourself. Invest in mentors, invest in coaches. I invested so much money before I ever made a return.
All right, we're not going to watch the rest of this. Let's go to the next one here. Where is the doctor? Okay, so this woman.
Oh dear.
These are the women in the medical field. So this woman's a doctor of physical therapy.
Let's talk about why I left my job as a doctor of physical therapy after 3 years of being in the field. Yes, I am a doctor. Yes, I went to a lot of school, but here we are. Disclaimer before we start, I love physical therapists. I think they do a lot for the healthcare profession. However, the field just wasn't for me. And this is me talking from personal experience. No.
So, guys, just so you know, she has an undergrad, a graduate, and a doctorate in physical therapy. So that's like 7-8 years right there, down the drain, that she's not going to use.
Number one reason why I left, burnout. Nobody in the healthcare field talks about burnout until they're working in the healthcare field. But when you're shadowing and doing all of that, they always talk about the positives. Nobody ever talks about burnout. Burnout is real in healthcare. For me, I just feel like I had no work-life balance. I would go to work probably like 30 minutes before to review my day. At lunch, you get an hour lunch, but you're always like doing notes. So you're not really on break. At the end of the day, you have to finish up all your notes. And sometimes that can take anywhere from 30 minutes up to an hour, hour and a half, depending on how many evals you had that day.
So many of these women complain about the basic aspects of their job. Like every physical therapist has to do this. So why is she complaining about it? I don't get it. It's not like she's talked about anything where they made her go above and beyond her regular duties. I don't understand it.
By the time you get home, it's time to go to bed, wake up, and do it all over again. Also in healthcare, you literally get no days off. I can typically count on one hand like how many holidays I would get off. I can also count on one hand how many PTO days you get within your first year. No sick days. All in all, you're lucky if you get like 10 days off that are paid. That's obviously within usually a first year of a company. Yes, it does build up. However, it's not as good as other professions. On top of...
What's the average salary? Average salary of a physical therapist. So the average salary of a physical therapist is is $97,000 a year. I thought it was more than that. Huh. Yeah.
Still not bad. I mean, for 97,000, that's not bad. It's almost 100 grand.
Yeah, but how much student loan debt does the average?
My guess is they'll probably offset that more likely though. The student loan debt. The student loan debt probably what 6 figures, maybe.
Oh, you guys. Oh, my goodness. The average physical therapist in the United States has a substantial amount of student debt, with the average amount being $142,489.
Jesus H. Christ.
Oh, my God.
I figured
Ah,
that. Yeah.
yikes.
So that
So she's
salary, yeah. So it offsets her salary. Yeah. So
so,
it doesn't
so
matter.
she's leaving a six-figure job as a physical therapist behind, and she's probably $100,000 in student loan debt.
That taking days off is hard.
What's that, Angel?
No. I was gonna say that she probably even if it's not a six-figure, it probably her college debt. They're probably like about, I don't know, maybe a little less than six figures though, but she still has a substantial amount.
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
Hard because you have a caseload. So you submit PTO, and that PTO can get denied a lot just because other people in the office are off, or for whatever reason they can't cover your caseload. On a personal side, I also left because I just had severe anxiety every Sunday before I would go into the work week. Side note, if you have a job and every Sunday you have extreme Sunday scaries,
I knew she was gonna say it. That's another one of those female terms that's caught on, the Sunday scaries. Were you dread going to work Monday morning? These women, the Sunday scaries.
that's not the job for you. Find something else. Another reason, growth. Once you graduate and start working as a physical therapist, there's not a ton of promotions you can get. You're pretty much at the top. Next up is like a director role. However, I also worked a director role. It's a ton more work, and you're not really compensated for that work. And lastly, let's address the elephant in the room. Doctors of physical therapy do not make doctor money. And if you make doctor money, you probably own your own business. The cost of school for physical therapy is so high, and the salary of a physical therapist is so low that they do not match out. It literally makes life unaffordable. Overall, bottom line is, like I said, it wasn't for me. That was my experience personally. I'm in a new job now. I've transitioned and I love my job. I hope this video helps people who might be thinking of going into physical therapy, because I know when I was thinking about it, all I saw was the good things. And if you look on Instagram or whatever, all you see is the positives, and no one really tells you the other side of it. You're not only going to work with athletes.
So I'm gonna give her a round of applause for her honesty. But now she's stuck with this degree she's not going to use and all the debt. And yeah, I'm hoping that she transition into something worth a dang. Let me see. What is her? Let me see if she says what she's into now. Is she in content creation now too? It looks like it. Let me see. Anyway, yeah. So if she were a man, she'd stay as a physical therapist and try to become a director, try to have her own business. Now, this girl is a doctor who quit because of her mental health and blah, blah, blah. Watch this. Guys, make sure to like the stream, subscribe if you haven't already. And if anyone else wants to come up to the conversation, hit the StreamYard link is at the top of the chat.
It means that I have quit my job. So if I post this, it means that I have quit my job. So why am I crying? I'm so happy to quit my job. If you follow me, you may have seen a video where I talk about kind of all the horrific things that I will watch at nighttime to make myself kind of like feel better about the world. And I'm not kidding with that. Like, it's basically like perspective. Like, funny things don't work. Like, it has to be so entrenching. Like, it has to really suck me in. Poor word choice in retrospect of what I'm going to tell. So in a previous TikTok, I had mentioned how I was watching the tornado footage, and there's this one footage of...
What's this girl talking about? She's been talking for almost a minute. What's she talking about?
this group of storm chasers getting stuck and sucked into a tornado. Tonight I was on the phone with my dad and I started crying, and he was like really confused because I was, at the same time I was crying, I was saying, this is the happiest I've ever been. And it's like, why are you crying then? Like, how can you be crying if you're so happy? And I really truly am. And I realized that, like, I've been sucked in a tornado for the past 8 years. I've been blown around, injured, fearing, begging, pleading, not thinking it would ever end, hoping it would just end, hoping I would just die. And it's not just being.
And this woman's a doctor. This woman went to medical school. If she put this video out here, she's never going to work in medicine again, ever. What is she doing? Like, this is another example, guys. Like, modern women, they don't think before they hit that upload button. And I think in the comments, people say that same thing.
I don't think women think a lot of things though before they do anything. Period.
Future employers will review social media and make judgments. Be careful what you post. Best to you.
Exactly.
Telling you, man, I don't understand it. Let's try to get through a little more of this.
Being a physician, right? It's everything else that I've been through. The things I've seen, like, my loved ones go through. It's been really hard. It's been really hard. So those poor storm chasers who are like grown men who, like, that's what they do. They chase storms. And like, this is honestly probably something that they never thought they would ever experience. They kind of probably thought they wanted this. Not like they wanted to be sucked up into a tornado, but like the thrill of it. So I keep going back in my mind to those storm chasers who they really wanted to do this. They knew that it would be risky. But they thought they knew what they were doing, and they could never have guessed that they would be sucked up into like an F5 tornado and survive it. And like when they land, they're
guys, my head. Does she talk about quitting her job? Let's fast forward. Jesus Christ.
This happened. I can't believe that everything's happened the way it happened. I know a lot of people have it way worse, and like I can't even imagine what people have gone through, but I haven't like told everything that I've gone through either. Like some of you know, but not all of it, and not like the extent of it. So
this woman's a medical doctor that quit her job, crying on TikTok, talking about tornadoes.
Doug, you know, I'm gonna tell you this though. I've been watching this. Been watching content like this and videos like this for like the last year and a half, and these women crying and everything. You know what they really need? They really need a real therapist, because they just seem like they just go in and then they spill their guts out, and for whatever reason it is, whether it be this or anything else, they really need a therapist. And some of them, they just probably go in, and I see why some of them go in and take, mental medication though, because they, for whatever reason, they really need a therapist badly.
1 in 4 guys, 1 in 4 women are on some kind of psych med. Ragey Gamer's here. Dante's Inferno Purgatory is here. Jessica's here. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, this woman's nuts, man. Look at that. Once again, future employers will review social media. Let's see the replies. Just see if anyone. Anyway, all right. This is another engineer that quit her job.
To quit my job. I can't believe that I just said that. I graduated college 8 years ago from Michigan Technological University up in the Upper Peninsula with a biomedical
makeup on.
So another biomedical engineer, guys. And let's just address the elephant in the room.
Yeah, literally.
Jeez, and then what's that on her? You know what? I'm actually happy.
Exactly.
Happy she's putting makeup on, guys. This is the first time where I'm happy to see her put on makeup. Because what is that? Yikes!
Jesus H. Christ.
H.
Oh
Christ.
my
Yep.
goodness!
It looks like an upside down triangle or something like that. If you connect the dots.
Yeah, you know what's funny? This is the first time where I'm actually gonna watch her, put on makeup to see if if what she puts on covers up all this craziness on her forehead. So she's got my attention. I got to give her credit for that.
Day of finals week of my senior year, graduated on Saturday, moved to downstate Michigan on that Sunday, and began working on Monday. I ended up graduating college so young because I graduated high school early and went to the university a semester early. And I already hadn't been attending the high school that I went to. I was doing college full time. So when I started what I like to call my true freshman year, when I was supposed to start, I already had 33 credits done going into it. I've always tested well in math and science.
Look at that. The magic.
Yeah, it matches her complexion.
Disappearing acne. Look at that.
So my parents were always like, you need to go to college for engineering, look at all the starting salaries, like great job placement, like the logical stuff parents do. So once I get to college, I really start to love engineering. Originally, I went to school with the intent of working in med device, working in Medtronic, Minnesota, and I ended up getting
Brainiac symbol.
The Brainiac symbol.
an internship in the life sciences space. And that's where I ended up getting my first job too. So fast forward, I graduate from college, I move to downstate Michigan, and I start my job. And it's at this job where I really start to travel for work towards the end. And compared to what I did at the end, it like really wasn't anything, but I started taking a couple of trips.
Jessica says that she can speak Klingon. Oh my goodness, yikes.
I went on a few work trips here and there, and it really like made me realize how much I love traveling. After 2.5 years of working there, my next company approached me via LinkedIn, and it was in the same industry, similar role back in Minnesota, which is where I'm from. So I was super excited about it. And this role also had me traveling a lot more. I was traveling all over the country. I had a few international trips, and I really realized like how much I loved to travel. And ironically enough, this is the job that also made me realize that I didn't really want to live in Minnesota because it didn't have all these hobbies that I had like learned that I liked. And just frankly, I was sick of the cold. I had a lot of friends from growing up there. My family is there. Then 2020 hits. The world shuts down, and I'm sitting at home when I get contacted on LinkedIn again, asking if I would be open to moving to Seattle and interested in a role similar to what I was doing, but instead of being on the supplier side where I had worked at the last two companies, I would now be at the end user side that actually happened to be one of my customers at the time. And in the biotech life sciences space, it's not very common that people cross paths from like supplier to end user and vice versa. But if they do, it's typically end user to supplier and not the other way around. So I was like, hell yeah, why not? Seattle has way more of the hobby.
So now she quit her biomedical engineering degree, and now she is your travel BFF, right? And
Another one?
If you click on her bio site, this is what comes up. Buy me a coffee. Mastering Sky Miles, writing all these books on travel. She has a bio engineering degree, and this is what she does full time. And look at this. This is not a flattering picture to put. Look at the distance between her and the seats on the plane. Jesus Christ.
Jesus H. Christ.
Oh man, look at this girl. Yeah,
Oh,
but
boy.
this is what she does now.
Wow.
I'm so wrong, you guys. Oh no, yikes. Anyway, yeah, so that's what she's doing now instead of bio.
Hobbies that I really like to do. And this is a really unique, rare opportunity for me to switch over to the end user side and get experience here. I should also mention at this point, I was also sharing like travel tips and stuff on Instagram, like back in late 2018, early 2019, I really started posting about it as I was learning more, and people were asking like, how are you traveling so much? And obviously some of it was coming from work, but I was also just like learning so much about it myself and was sharing it online. So I have a following on Instagram. So the world starts opening back up and I begin to actually get to travel again. This point, I'm my credit cards, getting my points and miles racked up. But most of the rest of the world, I was sick of sitting at home for the last.
I was just about to say that. Jessica says, "Is it Dan Aykroyd?"
Wow. Yeah, she's really kicking up that makeup though, man. I never seen that much makeup go on a person.
Well, that's a really big face. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot
Yeah,
of face
but
she has to cover too. I'm surprised she isn't using a spray can or a paint roller. You know what I'm saying?
Year and a half. So I started traveling again. I created a TikTok in March of 2021. And this is when I really started posting and finding my voice and then started like creating this awesome.
Jessica says, is that Jay Leno?
Oh yeah, with the chin. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the cheeks.
Community on these platforms. And I absolutely loved it. I have always been like a creative person. I've always been into like the arts, but I also have this like very logical math and science focused brain. So it's like the logic piece of me is like, do the smart thing, go the math and science route, engineering. And then my like fun brain is like, you should go do all these like, I'm super creative, artsy, like I want to go play music and whatever and create content is like what it came down to. Like I really learned that I loved creating content. I had so much.
What do I keep telling you guys? Content creation and social media. All these women think that that's their way out. All of them. How many of these videos have I covered where, oh yeah, I'm a content creator now. And women can do this crap. Men cannot. Men can't. Or even in content creation, it's a harder road for men. I'll talk about this real quick. Guys, if you see a guy that plays video games and makes money off of it, don't ever downplay how hard that is. You know how hard it is to get to so good at a video game that you make money off of it? My favorite Let's Player is this guy, Christopher Odd. He plays XCOM and XCOM 2. He plays at a level. I've been playing XCOM for years, and like I will never get as good as him. You even with video games, you can tell that a man has to put in the work to be able to be that good at a game. You know what I'm saying? Or you have video gamers who will stream one game for freaking 24 hours. Can you name any video game, guys, that you could sit and play for 24 hours? These guys do 48-hour streams.
48 hours.
Yeah, could you imagine? Whereas a lot of women, all they do is they do the lowest hanging fruit. They use their body. They just constantly post pictures. But even in content creation, men have to have more of a skill than women do. This girl just goes around and takes travel photos. How hard is that? All you have to do is come up with the money somehow to travel and take pictures. And then she has to find she has to keep up enough money to freaking pay for all the food she eats to keep this weight on.
Yeah. But that's also, to me, I think that's also kind of like a narcissistic kind of thing, though, because that's like saying, well, look, I could do this. Look where I've been. Look what I've done. You see? I've done it. And then you could do that too. I mean, that's the way I look at it, though. I mean,
yeah, yep.
With both the tutorial style videos, but then also like the trend videos and just like trying to incorporate my humor into it
and also try playing your favorite game while you're staying engaged with the audience. You have to play the game at a high level and still be engaged with the audience. It's crazy. Yeah. It's like, my favorite fighting game community player is a guy named Smug, and he could talk to his chat while he's putting in work and ranked matches in Street Fighter 6. It's crazy. He's freaking just beating people all over the world while he's talking to his chat. It's crazy.
I just was having a really good time. And the coolest thing started happening. I had this awesome community online. Brands started paying attention. And I started like really seeing this like online space become more than like what I'd seen it as on Instagram, like back in 2015, where it was just this like, I don't know, crazy influencer culture. It was like, no, like this is a real marketing tool. And like we can work, brands and creators can work together to like create content that is like meaningful to communities and share stuff together. I don't know. It was just, things started clicking in my head. Like, at the same time as like this stuff is happening and awesome opportunities are coming my way, I'm also like becoming unhappy at work. There's just, you know, like the normal corporate stuff that's going on. And I don't know, it was just like a shift. It was a major shift for me, I feel like, where I was like, maybe this corporate thing just isn't for me. Like things aren't lining up the way I'd envisioned. Like I thought I was like become a
Guys, I keep telling you, women have so many options. This isn't for me. A man has to stick in his corporate job, stick in his trade for years. And guys, try walking up to a woman who looks half decent and saying, "Oh yeah, you know, I quit my job. I'm a content creator." They'll laugh at you unless you already have a million subs. Unless you're already there. Guys, women keep quitting their jobs because they can. Men don't have these same options. And once again, like I said, all these engineers, all these doctors, like they're taking away positions that if they were men, they would stick it out. I honestly think that one of the reasons over 50% of medical doctors are women. Now, how many of these women are going to stay and be doctors for their full careers? I think that's one of the reasons why there's a healthcare shortage right now. It says women quit. Women quit for stuff like this. You know, I decided to go into content creation or take time for my family or take some time off. There are only so many slots in medical schools. Only slots. Only so many slots in freaking engineering classes, engineering majors. It's crazy, guys. Anyway, so I'm gonna do another one on the subject, but it's gonna be about nurses and probably teachers, because there's a lot of teachers, a lot of nurses, a lot of these women who it's just. I say this: women coming into the workforce hasn't been a net. I mean, hasn't been a total loss, a total negative, but they brought into the workplace these mindsets like, you know, I have to be happy at a job, I have to be passionate, you know, I have to find my passion. You know, men, we don't care about this stuff, never have, and they've changed the face of the workplace while being able to leave it at the same time. And businesses, that's one of the reasons why we have DEI and the HR department has so much power and stuff. It's just like female leadership. Women wanted to be more female bosses, but then over 50% of women would rather work for a male boss than a female boss. So a lot of women, they want women leadership, but they want them to be over the men and not the women. Women have changed the workplace. They wanted the opportunity to go into the roles traditionally dominated by men, and now they don't like it, and now they want to leave. And now men have to deal with the workplace being changed to fit women while the women leave. Just like when women invade male-dominated spaces. Oh yeah, women are here now. There's a couple of different women, but men have to completely change how they operate. No, I say no. You know. So, well, I am gonna cut this a little short because I am gonna. Oops. Make sure to catch AJ's 10,000 subs stream later. I told you guys I have this freaking sinus infection that just won't let up, man. It's just like right behind my the front of my head is just pounding and freaking just I'm finally going to a ENT next week, but it's just like staying medicated to be able to get through this. So I'm going to cut this short real quick. Angel, any last words about females quitting their jobs?
Well, all I know is that they wanted to have equal rights. They wanted to go and be strong women and get into the jobs that men are doing and everything like that. And then all of a sudden this happens. Oh, I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna do content. Blah blah blah, all this other stuff. But I don't want to hear no crap about but then the men are making more than women. It's not fair. No, I don't want to hear that. That's bull. Okay, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, I in my lifetime, men will always make more than women, and this is what we saw in this live stream today. Is why.
Yeah, I agree.
Men will stick it out in the trades and corporate America and the public sector. We know we have to work. We have that masculine burden of performance, and women think that they want a piece of this, and they don't. Women want to work hard until they don't want to anymore. Men don't have a choice. Yeah. Thank you, Ragey Gamer. Thanks, Carlos X. I went to urgent care last week. They gave me some antibiotics, and a bunch of stuff was draining out. But I think I need like another round or two because guys, it's been going on like a month and a half. It's yikes.
Is it because of allergies or something? Is that what it is, or?
I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't normally have allergies. So maybe I wonder if it's an aging thing where I'm getting older and I'm getting allergies. Because AJ has allergies, and he was always saying, "Oh, you don't get hit as bad as I do." I always used to kind of laugh at him, but maybe we come from the same DNA, so maybe it's finally hitting me. But yeah, I mean, I can count on one or two hands as many sinus infections I've had in my life. So yeah, but I got to do something, man, because it's just a constant. The worst part about it is there's this pressure on the back of my eyeballs. So like, it's drying out my eyes to the point where like,
oh wow,
I have to keep putting drops in my eyes, or to I put artificial tears in my eyes. If I don't, my vision gets blurry. Yeah, so
oh
I gotta
wow,
get this looked at. Yeah. So anyway, I know this wasn't a normal upbeat little live stream, but hopefully next time I talk to you guys on either Wednesday or Sunday, I'll be back on the men. But anyway, Angel, thank you for joining me. Carlos X, Ragey Gamer, John Tays, Inferno Purgatory, Jessica, Anthony Williams, everyone. Thank you for Pyro. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. And I'll be going live on Wednesday, so make sure to catch me then. And I'll see you guys at 9:30 Eastern to be on AJ's 10,000 sub stream. Okay.
All right. Feel better, Doug. All right. Good night, everyone.
I appreciate it. Bye.
I'll see you later.